All right, here we're on question 1. Now, one of the biggest problems we're going to have right now is right here. We cannot read what this says. At least I can't. You might be able to try and figure it out. So what I want you to do is go up to here where it says view, and you can go into zoom. Fit is 67. It just makes it a tiny bit bigger. You can go back up to view again, go to zoom. You can make it 100% bigger. Oh, look, we can see it. We can see the number 2 right there. So that's what I want you to do. When you can't see something, I want you to go to zoom or view, go down to zoom, go over here and adjust the picture here. We can always adjust it back, but for right now, we're interested in what this says, because if we can't read it, it's not very helpful. And you have control over whether or not you can make things bigger and smaller. So I just want you to be able to be aware of that. This says, what is the diameter of this circle? So apparently I don't have the diameter. I have a different part of this circle. I have half of the diameter because we know the diameter goes from one part of the circle through the center all the way to the other part. That's what our diameter does. I only have the line that goes from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle, which means I have the radius. And I know it's the radius because it says r equals 2 mi. So the radius equals 2 mi. And so that, if you'll notice, all of our answers have the mi. So we'll say that that's miles. So in order to figure out my radius, I know my radius equals my diameter times 2. And technically that should be a lowercase r. So my radius, nope, sorry, I'm correcting myself. Diameter equals radius times 2. I know my radius, I'm looking for my diameter. I apologize. So my diameter, so we have d, but I can put diameter equals radius times 2. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to turn this first letter into a different color. You don't have to do that, but I want you to see. When we say diameter, we're looking just at this D right here. We're just going to put D. We're just going to put R, and I want you to notice that. So when I rewrite this, it's D equals R, or actually we just put 2R. This is how you will see it written right here like this. I want you to recognize that. You do not need to write all this stuff. I'm just trying to teach you that this is the formula. D equals diameter. R equals radius. This 2 next to the R means I am multiplying. So what exactly do I want you to write? Well, what I want you to show me, and I need to make sure that doesn't highlight, is what is my diameter? I don't know what it is, but I do know my radius is 2. So I do know that that R right here, this R, equals that 2 right there that I put. Radius equals 2. Do you see that? So I plug that 2 in where this R is. And since it's multiplying that other 2, it's 2 times 2. So this, I'm going to put in blue what I want you to type. So this is, whoops, what I want you to type, I'm going to stick that in blue. And I'm going to unhighlight that. So in blue, I want you to type D equals 2R. That's the formula right here. I plug in what I know. My R is 2. You see it right here. I even typed it up here so you can see it better. So then in blue, D equals 4. This is what I want to see. In this blue right here, I'm going to highlight it too so you can see it. You don't have to highlight it. This is what I want you to type. I want you to type the formula. I want you to type then the equation where you're plugging in your known values, which is R equals 2. Then I want the answer at that point. That is what I'm looking for in this box. I'm going to make it fit. This up here, I type it in so that way you understand what it is I'm doing. You don't have to type it. If you want to type it so that way you get familiar with it, what exactly it is we're doing so you can go through it and understand it better, that's great. I think you should. So I'm going to highlight my C because it's for, actually it would be for MI if we're going to label it. Then I'm going to take this, so it has that white plus sign with the arrows going both ways, and I'm going to drag it up here. And yes, you need to do that. You need to highlight and you need to drag and drop. So it says Oskar Schindler was born in Zuitau, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, I'm sorry, in then called Austria-Hungary. So he was born in Austria-Hungary. This is the answer to question number 1. And this is what I need to see in your box here.